My boyfriend Mark asked my sister Lily to marry him, right at our engagement party. Everyone expected me to freak out. Even my own parents, John and Carol, told me I should step aside for my sister's sake. But guess what? I stayed calm and wished them well. Then, surprise, I announced I was engaged too, to Alex, a man whose family is incredibly rich. No more sadness for me. I was choosing happiness. It was supposed to be my big night with Mark, but Mark wasn't there. I couldn't reach his phone, and even his parents had no idea where he was. People started whispering. I took the microphone from a waiter, lifted my glass, and said, "Sorry, everyone. Looks like my fiancé had something important come up." Before I could finish, Mark walked in, holding hands with my sister, Lily. They stopped right by the door. "So sorry," Mark began. He let go of Lily's hand, looked serious, then pulled her close for a hug. After that, he walked toward me, holding out his hand. "Sorry about this." I set my glass down, handed him the microphone, and stepped away. Mark nodded at me, then turned to the guests with a sad look. "Everyone, and Sarah," he said, "I'm truly sorry. Our engagement is today. I want you all to see the only woman I've ever truly wanted to marry." He looked at Lily, got down on one knee, and asked with real emotion, "Lily, will you marry me?" Lily didn't answer right away. She looked at me, then at Mark, tears running down her face. She clearly felt guilty for ruining her sister's party like this, but Mark kept holding her hand, trying to calm her. Guests who had been ready to leave stopped to watch. More whispers started. "Weren't these two families supposed to get married? Now he's marrying someone else? Lily is hardly ever around, but what an entrance. Didn't Mark like Sarah before? Sarah won't make a big deal, right? Who knows? They weren't married yet." It seemed like people could gossip anywhere, anytime. I smiled kindly and encouraged Lily. "Hey sis, what are you waiting for? Say yes." But she only cried harder, shaking her head. Mark lost his patience. He turned to me angrily. "Sarah, stop making this harder for Lily. If you have a problem, talk to me." She didn't do anything wrong. I was confused. What does this have to do with me? I couldn't help adding, "You're acting crazy." Things got tense. My friends quickly came over, worried I might cause a scene. "Sarah, don't get mad. Let's talk later." "Sarah, are you okay? Let's step outside." Even my parents, John and Carol, came over. Dad patted my shoulder. "Your sister has always let you have your way. She just wants Mark. Please be nice for once and let her have him." Wow. They really said it all, didn't they? I sighed and waved them away. Okay, enough. Let me say something. I asked for another mic and walked past my friends. Nearby, Lily was bent over, crying against Mark's chest. Everyone watched me. I stepped closer and spoke clearly into the microphone. "From the bottom of my heart, I wish my sister and Mark all the best." Lily lifted her tear-streaked face from Mark's hug.
"Sarah,"
she started, ready to cry again. I wasn't interested in her act. I cleared my throat and continued, "And I also want to invite everyone." Just then, the main doors opened wide and someone walked in slowly. People stepped back, murmuring again. "Isn't that Alex? What's he doing here?" "Wow, Alex came to see this too." I walked over, linked my arm with his, and smiled. "To my engagement party with Alex on the 21st of next month." The room went completely silent. Unlike Mark's family, who lived off past glories, Alex's family was old money, powerful in politics for generations. Alex himself had switched to business at 20 and quickly became a huge success locally in just 5 years. A real powerhouse from a top family. Nobody messed with this guy, except my sister Lily, who always worried about me. Now, standing with Mark holding her up, she looked shocked. "Sarah, don't joke like that. We can't handle jokes like this." I tilted my head. "Joke? What joke?" Mark hugged her protectively. "Sarah, this is my fault. Tell me what you want as compensation, but don't drag his family into this." My dad, John, finally pushed through the crowd, worriedly pulling at me. "Sarah, stop being foolish. Do you even know who this is?" Before I could answer, Alex stepped back, taking me with him. John followed, still trying to apologize. "Alex, my younger daughter didn't mean to upset you." "John, I think you're misunderstanding something," Alex interrupted, looking annoyed. I handed him the mic. He lowered his head slightly and said calmly, "Since Sarah has invited you, you are all very welcome to our engagement party on the 21st of next month." He paused, then added, taking the mic again, "And we also wish Lily and Mark happiness together." He let the microphone drop with a loud thud, like a final, official stamp on everything. Thump. Silence for a second. Then everyone started talking at once. The younger guests especially couldn't stop whispering. We thought Sarah was in a bad spot, but something feels off, right? It seems like Mark changing fiancés was sudden, but Sarah was totally ready for it. I didn't realize before, Sarah's from the Gardens family. Is that their name? Seriously, we're just watching their drama. All the chatter reached Alex. He seemed to enjoy it. Turning his head slightly, he gave a small nod toward the speakers, who got even more excited. What's with you guys acting like you're watching a romance movie? Aren't you supposed to be high society? I sighed and lightly patted Alex's back. Calm down, Peacock. By the next day, it was all over the news. My engagement to Alex with his clear approval was town gossip, my dad. John had been calling non-stop since yesterday afternoon, asking how I got involved with Alex and wondering if I was trying to cause trouble for him, like I was the problem. Then after seeing the headlines this morning, his angry questions changed to, Sarah, you must make a good impression on Alex. Our family's future is riding on you now. I tapped my finger on that last message, amused. Funny, John never knew how to run the family business. Mark's family had been helping out for years, so for 20 years our family's future really depended on Mark. That's why when they learned Mark was cheating with Lily, they dropped me so fast. My parents always favored my supposedly weak sister Lily, and couldn't wait to see her married well. But since Mark had chased me relentlessly, they couldn't just swap us. Now that Mark chose Lily, they finally got what they wanted. Just as I was thinking this, Alex came over with some fruit and sat beside me. What are you thinking about? I picked up a grape and sighed dramatically.
Parents who play favorites, a sister who loves drama, a fiancé who cheated, and poor innocent me. Alex gently took the grape from my hand and ate it, copying my sigh.
Sigh. My poor fiancé almost got picked on. Oh right, this fruit thief knew all about my family history. My attempt to act pitiful failed. They want me to impress you, I said, grabbing another grape and offering it to him. Here, let me impress you. Alex took it easily, speaking casually. Do you think they'll wait more than a few days for a son-in-law like me? Since Alex and I were getting engaged, a meeting between our families was expected. Besides, they finally had a chance to get close to Alex. They wouldn't miss the opportunity to benefit from it. It was just a question of how long they could wait before scaring off the big prize. I kept feeding him grapes. A week, maybe. Alex turned his head, confident. One day. The very next day, Alex was stuck making small talk in my parents' living room. I went to my room to pack my things to move into Alex's place. The door opened, and Lily walked in with a cup of coffee, smiling sweetly. Sarah, I ground this coffee just for you. Want to try? I glanced at the kiss marks visible near her collar. Lily wasn't even trying to hide them anymore. Very bold, sis. Lily stopped at the door but kept smiling. Oh, what is it? I set down the clothes I was holding, picked up my phone from the table, turned it off right in front of her, and tossed it onto the bed. Hand over your phone. Lily paused. Oh, what are you doing? I blinked, giving her a choice. Turn it off or get out. After a moment, the phone in Lily's bag, which had been recording, was switched off. She closed the door too. Lily dropped the smile. Her voice turned cold. I've been wondering since yesterday how you managed to catch Alex. You do have some tricks, it seems. I shrugged. These tricks aren't as good as yours. In our family, especially to our parents, Lily, born early and often sick, was treated like she was made of glass. She couldn't run, jump, or even go outside much. Being spoiled like that gave her a mean streak. By age 5, she started taking things she thought should be hers. Extra attention from mom and dad, praise from teachers, popularity with friends, and my fiancé, Mark. She used tricks like faking sickness, acting sad, and spreading lies. And she did manage to take a lot from me. I didn't care about most of it, but she always celebrated her little victories like they were huge. Maybe she thought she was brilliant. Thinking about this, I smirked quietly. Ignoring what I said, Lily lifted the coffee cup. I spent 15 minutes grinding this. It's good. Are you sure you don't want any? I repeated her words. Yeah, it's a shame. The room went silent for a few moments. Then she put the coffee down. You can't marry Alex. Why not? You're not good enough for him, I nodded. Oh, and you are? Lily's eyes showed panic for a second, but she quickly tried to hide it, acting like she was giving good advice. Alex is way out of your league. I'm just looking out for you. Ah, the classic looking out for you excuse. I sat on the bed and pretended to think hard. Is it that I'm not worthy? Or do you just want him for yourself? Wasn't Mark enough? Lily automatically answered. Mark and I are truly in love. Then she froze, realizing something. She looked at me, eyes wide. Did you say you let me? My silly sister. I smiled, holding up a finger as if counting. You said you and Mark are truly in love, right? I asked, my voice calm but cutting. Let's think, when did that start? At the engagement party 2 days ago? During all those secret meetups over the years? Or maybe that night after your big school exams? A loud crash suddenly broke the silence. Something heavy had hit the floor, followed by the shattering sound of porcelain. The noise startled everyone downstairs. Within seconds, 3 people rushed up to see what had happened. Lily was on the floor of my room, crumpled and clutching her stomach in pain. Her white clothes were splattered with coffee, and the shattered cup lay beside her. I just sat there quietly watching her. The scene threw our mother, Carol, into panic. She hurried over, face pale, and knelt beside Lily. What happened? What's wrong, Lily?
Are you okay?
She asked, voice trembling with worry. Lily opened her eyes weakly, tears spilling down her cheeks. It hurts, Mom. Don't blame Sarah. I just tripped. She didn't push me. Carol's face twisted with anguish. Her hands, stained with coffee, shook as she pointed at me. Sarah, she's your sister, and she's pregnant with your nephew. How could you push her? Her voice cracked as she raised her hand, almost striking me, but her legs gave out and she collapsed beside Lily instead. Lily's sobbing halted for a split second. I had to suppress a laugh, forcing my face to stay neutral. People always tried to look busy when they were embarrassed. Carol quickly collected herself, tears streaming as she clutched Lily tightly. John, why are you just standing there? Call the doctor. This is terrible! My father, John, who'd been frozen in shock, turned to rush downstairs. But Alex stepped forward, blocking the doorway. Wait, he said calmly. John stopped, visibly torn between worry and confusion. Alex, what are you doing? Alex didn't answer right away. He just nodded slightly in my direction. All eyes turned to me. I stood up slowly and clapped my hands once softly. You know, I said, meeting Lily's tearful gaze. My sister's best acting performance over the years is this one right here. But sadly, today's the final act. Carol blinked in confusion, her voice trembling as she looked between us. What are you talking about? Why won't you let your father call the doctor? Do you want to hurt your sister and her baby? I frowned, covering my ears briefly before glancing at Alex. He tapped his knuckle lightly on the doorframe, signaling for silence. Carol, he said evenly, don't worry. The last person in this room who wants something bad to happen to Lily. Isn't you? What? Carol's voice wavered. Alex stayed quiet, so I stepped in. If anything happens to Lily in my room, my life would be ruined. I'm not stupid enough to risk that. Carol looked down at Lily, then back up at me, completely lost. What are you trying to say? I didn't reply right away. Instead, I picked up 2 phones from the bed, then reached behind some books on my desk and grabbed Alex's phone, the one that had been hidden. I held them up, all recording screens visible. Lily froze. Her tears stopped instantly, replaced by wide-eyed panic. Our parents sensed something was off and fell silent. Without a word, I turned on the projector and connected Alex's phone. The video began to play. At first, it showed only me in the room, folding clothes. A few minutes later, Lily entered with a cup of coffee. The video continued, me asking, let me guess, when did it start being true love between you and Mark? At the engagement party during all those secret meetings or that night after the exams? On the screen, Lily's face turned ghostly pale. She stepped toward me, furious. What nonsense are you talking about? Then, clear as day, the recording played my reply. Hotel room 107, 10th floor. I even helped you delete the security footage of you 2 making out in the hallway. The color drained from Lily's face. In the video, she turned, grabbed the coffee, and poured it on herself. Her voice was sharp and bitter. So what? That's what you owe me. Then she threw the cup to the ground, carefully avoiding the shards as she lay down, clutching her stomach, pretending to be in pain, the exact noise that had drawn everyone upstairs. The last seconds of the recording showed me walking toward the hidden camera. Before the video ended, the room was silent. Carol's expression was frozen, disbelief and heartbreak warring on her face. Lily, why? John's face had gone red. Normally calm and composed, he could barely contain his fury. What were you thinking, Lily? He roared. Lily shook her head wildly, gripping Carol's hand so tightly her knuckles went white. I didn't. I just... Stop! I clapped my hands once, cutting her off. Enough. I'm just showing everyone what really happened. Whatever happens next isn't my problem. Alex and I have plans, so we'll be leaving. That snapped Lily out of her daze. She leapt to her feet, ignoring the broken pieces around her, and lunged at me. Sarah, you're doing this on purpose. You want to ruin me. Take everything from me. You just want to hurt me. But before she could reach me, Carol yanked her back and slapped her. The sound echoed through the room. Lily froze, eyes wide in disbelief. Carol stared at the red mark blooming on her daughter's cheek, whispering, How did you turn out like this? Lily's tears fell again. She touched her face slowly, her voice trembling. You hit me out for her? Mom, have you forgotten how many times I put up with things for her? All these years I gave her everything. All I wanted was Mark. What did I do wrong? Carol hesitated, hand trembling. You saw what you did, Lily. Lily jerked her hand away, sneering. Saw what I did? I was just protecting my love in my own way. What about you, Mom? Are you really siding with Sarah without even knowing everything? Carol opened her mouth to reply, but I cut in. Okay, big sis, you're always right. I tilted my head, smiling faintly. But I have one question. Everyone turned toward me. Is this the first time you've been slapped? How does it feel? Lily's face turned a strange mix of red and blue. I couldn't help laughing. If you have nothing else to say, that's fine. We've seen enough drama. Time for us to go. John told Lily to go to her room, then awkwardly walked Alex and me to the door with Carol trailing behind. Just as I was about to get into the car, Carol grabbed the door and tugged my sleeve. Sarah. I stayed quiet. Alex leaned forward, his expression unreadable, and said to her calmly, If Lily ever wants to pursue acting, she can call me. He paused, his tone laced with irony. After all, her talent seems quite special. Carol froze, lips pressed tight. I looked at her one last time, then gave a small wave. We're leaving, Mom. The word Mom softened her expression slightly. She forced a shaky smile and waved back. All right. As the car door shut, the window sealed away the sadness in her eyes. I finally exhaled. Better late than never, I thought. Growing up, Lily had always pulled stunts like this. She was manipulative, deceitful, and my parents never saw through it. They always believed her, always painted her as the fragile one. No matter how much I cried for help, they sided with her, but that was all over now. I'd stopped caring long ago. When we got back to Alex's house, exhaustion hit me like a wave. I wanted nothing more than to collapse in bed. The earlier drama had drained every ounce of energy from me. Still, Dad didn't even wait a full day before calling. The moment he confirmed my wedding with Alex was real, he demanded that we come over for dinner the next day. We both knew what that dinner was really about. I didn't want to ruin my appetite later, so I dragged Alex there early in the morning, hoping to leave before lunch. Luckily, Lily's performance had given us the perfect excuse to escape early. The spring sunshine felt gentle on my skin, perfect weather for a nap. But just as I lay down, someone restless slid into bed beside me. Tired? Alex's voice was low and teasing. Yeah, I murmured from under the blanket. The mattress dipped as he pulled me into his arms. I blinked, finding myself face to face with his annoyingly handsome features. You won't forget your promise from yesterday, right? He asked. Promise? I frowned, then remembered. Oh, the bet. The one about how long my parents would last with him as a son-in-law. I'd said a week. He'd said one day, my face heated. Can we not talk about this right now? Alex smirked.
You're not backing out, are you?
Of course not. Before I could finish, he kissed me, cutting off my words. I could never resist his kisses. By the time he pulled away, my eyes were watery from lack of air. I'm tired, I whispered. Really tired. Then I'll nap with you, he said, nuzzling closer and brushing his lips against mine. Go to your own side, I protested weakly, pushing him away. Alex chuckled softly but obeyed, lying down beside me. Rest up, he murmured. We've got a show to enjoy later. 3 days later, Mark announced his engagement to Lily. An invitation arrived for Alex. He tossed it into my hand with a mischievous grin. "Let's go watch the show." So that's what he'd meant earlier. I smiled, twirling the invitation. This could be fun. Outside the venue, Alex's sleek car pulled up. He got out, walked around, and opened my door like a gentleman. I slipped my arm through his, and together we walked inside. The engagement party was grand, bigger, more extravagant, even more carefully decorated than mine had been. Reporters swarmed the room. "True love, huh?" I murmured, scanning the crowd. "They really went all out." Alex glanced around and laughed quietly. "This is what you call effort?" I grinned back. "Just average." The hall buzzed with chatter, rich young heirs and business elites in suits, celebrities and influencers mingling with champagne flutes in hand. These weren't easy people to invite. I couldn't help but wonder, had Mark or Lily's family struck some kind of deal lately? I got my answer soon enough. The moment Alex and I entered, nearly every head turned. Someone nearby even started toward him with a drink in hand. I nudged his arm. "Looks like they came because of you." With his money, his name, and those annoyingly perfect looks, Alex was like a prince. Ever since his success, he'd kept a low profile. No scandals, no parties. So naturally, news of his mysterious fiancé had everyone curious. After everyone realized it was me, it only made sense that I was at Lily's engagement party. She was, after all, my only sister. People started whispering. What if Sarah brought Alex with her? It might be the only chance to see him in person. Not far away, Mark emerged from the crowd, a drink in hand and a polite smile on his face. "Sarah, Alex." A waiter passed by with 2 glasses of wine. I took one, nodded at Mark, and lifted it slightly in a silent toast. "Cheers," I said softly. "Cheers to what?" I wasn't even sure myself. Mark didn't seem to care that Alex ignored him. He simply nodded back, took a sip, and melted into the crowd again. I found a table to set my glass down. When I turned, Alex was already surrounded by several businessmen I recognized. Poor guy, no peace even here. I wandered off to a quiet corner, trying to ignore the curious stares following me. I swirled the wine, nibbled on a small cake, and took the occasional sip. When most of the guests had arrived, I put my glass down, rested my head on the table, and pretended to fall asleep. Sure enough, the person watching me couldn't wait any longer. A maid hurried over, gently shaking my arm. "Miss, are you all right? Let me help you upstairs to rest." I kept my eyes closed, smiling faintly to myself. Looks like the show's about to begin. The maid led me to a room upstairs, helped me out of my outer dress, tucked me in with a blanket, and quietly left. Once the door closed and silence filled the room, I sat up and reached for the dress lying beside the bed. Pulling it back on in the dark, I looked around. The room was tidy, too tidy. No closet, nowhere to hide, and the only exit led straight into the hallway. Escaping wasn't an option. I sighed, wrapped the blanket around myself, and sat down on the sofa near the window, rubbing my sore shoulders. "What kind of surprise do you think she has planned?" I muttered. A faint electronic buzz came from my left earring. Then Alex's cool voice replied, "You can expect something, and she won't be kind." "That sounds pretty bad." "Yeah," he scoffed. "So bad it's almost funny." I chuckled quietly. "I'm curious to see what she'll do this time." Moments later, the door creaked open. I tightened the blanket around myself and turned my head. The hallway light was blinding as 2 figures slipped in, whispering to each other. "Hurry up!" one said in a rough voice. "Take the pictures and leave." I know," the other muttered nervously. They didn't turn on the lights. I could barely make out their shapes as they stumbled toward the bed. "Where is she?" one whispered. "They said she'd be here." "Nobody's here. Turn on the lights." I silently counted down in my head. 3, 2, 1. The door burst open, flooding the room with light. I quickly covered my eyes with the blanket, not wanting to see whatever mess they'd made. Then Alex's icy voice cut through the chaos. Well, 2 gentlemen sneaking around, taking artistic photos." Before the intruders could react, Alex's security team stormed in, grabbing them by the arms and dragging them out. Alex pulled the blanket away from me and lifted me easily into his arms. Near the door, the two men, now half-dressed in waiter uniforms, knelt on the floor, one with a small camera hanging from his neck. I looked down at them. "Who sent you?" They exchanged a glance before one finally stammered. "It was Lily. She told us to take embarrassing photos of you, with your face clear in every shot. We were just doing what we were told." I gave a polite, cold smile. "Alex, call the police." As expected, Lily hadn't taken her last humiliation well. After I embarrassed her that day, forcing her to move out, she wouldn't forgive me easily. Downstairs, the engagement party was in full swing. On the big screen, photos of Lily and Mark's childhood romance played for everyone to see. Strangely, I appeared in many of them, photos from the time Mark had tried to court me. Apparently, Lily had collected every picture she could to rewrite our history into her fairy tale. A pianist played soft wedding music as guests smiled, oblivious. Alex wrapped an arm around my shoulders. "She should be grateful for the gift you're about to give her," he murmured. I sighed, staring up at Lily's glowing face on the stage. I wasn't planning to give her anything. But it's sad. She's always been naive, always rushing ahead without thinking. Maybe I spoiled her too much. The photos shifted to their engagement portraits. The host invited Lily and Mark on stage. Smiling hand in hand, they stepped up and turned toward the audience. Just as the host lifted the mic, the speakers crackled, and the recording from my earring played. My voice echoed through the hall. "What surprise do you think she'll bring me?" Then came the waiter's voice. "Lily told us to take photos of you doing something bad with another man, and to make sure your face was visible." Gasps spread through the room. On stage, Lily's face turned white. She yanked on Mark's arm, shouting, "Who's doing this? Turn it off!" But it was too late. Alex's security blocked the control room door. The screen kept rolling, showing the hidden footage of Lily bringing me coffee, the cup shattering, her false tears. The clip ended as I looked directly into the hidden camera. The crowd erupted in whispers and flashes from reporters. Lily collapsed, sobbing. Mark knelt beside her, stunned. Leaning against the railing above, I asked softly, "Oh, I almost forgot. What's in the next video?" The screen went black, then flickered to life again, Lily's voice playing. "I really like this trophy, Sarah." A younger Lily appeared on screen, holding a crystal award. My award. The video showed her smashing it on the ground. "Sorry, Sarah," she cried. "It's all my fault. Please don't be mad." Then our parents, John and Carol, rushed in. Lily pretended to defend me weakly. "It's not Sarah's fault. I was just curious about the trophy. She didn't mean to hit me." "Sarah!" Carol's voice from the recording was sharp. "How could you treat your sister that way?" The whispers in the room grew louder. Oh my God, they're sisters? Wait, wasn't Mark engaged to Sarah first? So Lily stole her sister's fiancé? The party had turned into a public trial. Lily clung to Mark, but he looked dazed and unmoving. Finally, Alex tapped the microphone, his calm voice commanding silence. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said. Everyone turned to look at us on the second-floor balcony. He handed me the mic. "I hope tonight's show didn't disappoint you," I said calmly, my gaze on Lily, her makeup ruined, still pretending to faint. "Lily, are you happy now?" She looked up at me wildly. "Sarah, are you crazy? You're pushing me to your death?" I finished for her, laughing softly. "Isn't that what you've been saying for 20 years? I looked out over the crowd. Every time I succeeded at something, Lily would say she was jealous. She'd break my trophies, tear my awards, and cry, "You make me feel worthless, Sarah. You're always driving me to death." I sighed. She never treated me like family, only as a rival. "So tell me, Lily, why would you ever think I'd be a good sister?" The live stream continued. I paused, then added, "But it is your engagement party. I shouldn't ruin it completely." Alex's assistant brought out a box and handed it to my parents. "I actually had a gift planned," I said, smiling faintly. Inside was a villa deed and a contract from Alex's resort. Guests murmured in awe. "That's from Alex's property. How generous." Just as John reached for it, I closed the lid. This was a gift, I said quietly, but now it's compensation. It's yours, rightfully, Carol whispered tearfully. Sarah. I ignored her and turned back to Lily. Sister, I'm sorry. This won't happen again. I had said those words countless times as a child, back when I still cared. Now it was closure. My apology meant goodbye. The engagement party ended in chaos. News headlines exploded. Online debates twisted the story. Some accused me of scripting the revenge. Others called it justice. Mark's family business crashed with John's company. Lily ended up in the hospital. When Mark showed up at my door later, he looked utterly defeated. Sarah, he began, blocking the door. It wasn't on purpose. That night after exams, I wanted to confess. I got drunk. I don't know how it ended up being Lily. I didn't open the door. So that's what you care about? He froze. Did you ever wonder why Lily was the one who found you that night? I asked quietly. The drug in your drink, I arranged it. The text inviting me out. I made sure Lily saw it. And that hotel room? I booked it for you both. He stared at me in disbelief. You, what? But we were engaged. Exactly, I interrupted coldly. And I never wanted to be. I hated you from the start, Mark. Being tied to you was the worst part of my life. I only gave you back to Lily, like I always said I would. After that, their engagement was officially over. Mark's family cut ties to save their business, while Lily's family went bankrupt. John and Carol disappeared. Lily was diagnosed with depression and sent to recover in the countryside. Alex quietly bought back everything I had given them. The villa, the company, the house. My final gift to them was also the end of our bond. For the first time in years, I finally felt peace. Soon, new invitations arrived from powerful families wanting to meet Alex. He turned them all down and instead took me to his family's old home. Inside, his grandmother, an elegant woman with silver hair, looked at me playfully. Oh, who's this girl? I don't know her. Grandma, I laughed, rushing to her side. It's me, Sarah. Look again. She huffed. Never heard of her. I held her arm affectionately. Come on, Grandma, you always said you liked me best. Don't be mad, I've just been busy with annoying people. But now I'm free, her expression softened. She held my hand and turned to glare at Alex. Sarah's been in trouble and you didn't help her? Alex shrugged. Didn't look like she needed it. Just then his father came down the stairs, dignified even in casual clothes. Sarah's made quite a stir lately, he said teasingly. Our son might not be able to keep up. I smiled shyly. Uncle, you're here too. His mother followed, elegant and gentle. I just thought we'd have a family dinner. And tomorrow Sarah can come with me to look at engagement dresses. Grandma patted my head. Without realizing it, the little girl's grown up. I nodded, feeling warmth spread through me. From the moment I met Alex at 15 to now, 10 years had passed. Compared to the cold house I grew up in, this finally felt like home. Our engagement ceremony was held on a rooftop. No reporters, no crowd, just family. White roses covered the space, their scent soft and pure. At the end of the red carpet, Alex's parents stood smiling. His mother held a small box. Sarah, Grandma's kind voice echoed through the mic. Welcome home. I walked toward them. Inside the box was a smooth jade bracelet. Cool against my skin. Carrie, Alex's mother whispered, calling me by my English name. Welcome home. Tears blurred my vision. 10 years ago, meeting Alex was the start of everything. Now, everything had finally fallen into place.